So, guys, Rufai Oseni traveled to Abia State to speak with Governor Alex Otti. This is the full video of the interview that Governor Alex Otti granted to Arise TV. Don't forget that there are so many allegations by the opposition that Governor Alex Otti is misappropriating the money belonging to the people of Abia. You are going to be listening to him clear the air on the projects that he is carrying out in Abia State and more that is yet to come. I mean, this man is loaded with ideas. You just need to watch him and hear what Governor Alex Otti has in stock for the people of Abia. Honestly, this is the best president ever in Nigeria. Now take a look.
Excellency, pleasure to have you on the show.
Nice to have you in Abia. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. And tribute to courage. But those in the opposition still say a lot of things about you. Let me tell you some of the things they say. They say you awarded the most expensive contract in Nigeria, 5-kilometer Port Harcourt Road, above for 32 billion to Julius Berger, chaired by your friend. These are kind of the things they say in the opposition about you. Also hear one of it. They say you abandoned the new government house, that nothing was wrong with it, and we are right here in your village. They also talked about the fact that, you were trying to take glory for the geometric power company, when that, contrary to your public boast, that Aba is not even enjoying 24/7 power supply and the residents. And they also went ahead, to say that you abandoned the multi-specialist hospital that was done by your predecessor. So these are some of the things they say about you. I mean, what do you say to all of these things?
Well, the opposition will find something to say. Even if God was to come down to govern the state, the opposition will have something to say. So I think they are busy looking for things to say. All the issues you've mentioned are non-issues to Abia people. Geometric, of course I told the story of geometric. And I encountered geometric in my banking days when Professor Naji came to me, a bit frustrated. And this was several years ago. I was executive director in First Bank. I believe that was 2009, 2010. Yeah. Just before I left First Bank. And I packaged a facility to help him rescue the geometric project, because the bank, coincidentally, that was funding the project at that time, stopped because of the global economic crisis. And that bank was Diamond Bank, where I had to go 1 year after. And they packaged, if I recall, about $80 million facility. Got the approval, but he couldn't draw because the bank at that time felt that the person that understood the project was leaving, and that was me. And as I left, he came back to me in Diamond Bank. And we sat down and provided all the facilities that he required to complete the project. In fact, we completed the project before I left the bank in 2014. But one problem after another. I believe that the way God wanted it.
What about the Julius Berger contract, that I talked about, that they said you gave to your friend?
It's a joke. Julius Berger is my friend.
Yeah, they said you gave it to your friend.
Who is my friend?
These are some of the things the opposition.
Okay, so let me.
We'll always say.
So you know what will happen?
Yeah.
I would like you to go to Port Harcourt Road after this interview. Talk to people. That road had been abandoned for over 30 years. Nobody could fix it, except Julius Berger. And everybody knows. So if you go to Aba and make this allegation, you'll probably not come back.
I'm a journalist. I just asked the question.
No. So what it is that it's not 5.8 kilometers. It's a dual carriageway. It is something else, and I would like you to just go there. So the allegation of the so-called opposition, because they couldn't fix it. So somebody has come to fix it. And every other person is very happy. And Julius Berger is handing over the project to me next week. And
How much did the project cost?
it has gone beyond the 30 billion.
So
It's actually somewhere about 36.5 billion now. Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's good use of money.
Absolutely. It's one of the most important parts of the Southeast, not just Aba. Okay, so virtually everything is made on Port Harcourt Road. It's a very long stretch of road.
Right.
I would like you to see.
No, I saw part of it while we were, coming here.
No, you've not gone to Aba.
No, I'm not going to Aba.
Port Harcourt Road is inside Aba, not Aba Port Harcourt Road.
Okay.
There's a Port Harcourt Road in Aba.
Okay.
That takes you from inside town all the way to the expressway.
Okay.
Okay, so, and everybody is happy. Even the opposition is happy.
Okay. What are you doing as regards?
Okay, you also talked about government house.
Yeah, government house. Yeah,
Yes.
and the specialist hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened was that my predecessor commissioned an uncompleted building on the 28th of May.
Uncompleted building?
Uncompleted building on the 28th of May. I would also like you to see it. My people will take you to it. So, and it is supposed to be new government house. So what did he do? He completed the ground floor, finished it very well, put Italian furniture. I don't like to talk about it, but since you asked,
No, yes.
put Italian furniture in the place, painted it, and commissioned it. Okay, so the bedroom. So after the inauguration, I went there. When I looked at the ground floor, I was very happy. But as I went to the first and second floor, they were not even plastered. No sanitary fittings, nothing. So that's fraud.
Really?
Yeah. And
Are
I would
you-
like
are you
you,
going to probe
I've
him
not
for
put
that?
one dime.
No, are you going to probe your predecessor for that?
You have only 4 years. And when you get into some of these distractive things, you lose focus. I have too much work to do. Probing him is, of course, we called in KPMG at some point, and I'm sure you must have seen that, where they looked at one of the accounts, and they found that some 10 billion naira was drawn for a non-existent airport. So that's the only one that we are saying, bring back our money or give us the airport.
But he says he's fixed the airport, that the airport is, that things are working with the airport.
In the air, it's Audio Airport.
Audio airport.
We've just flagged off the construction of the Abia Airport. That's better. Probing is a waste of my time.
But the question a lot of people ask is, if you have an airport in Owerri, why do you need another Abia airport? That's
Okay.
always the argument. Does it make financial?
It's a good argument.
Does it make financial?
It's a good argument. But the truth about it is that when you go elsewhere, you find that in a place like Texas, how many airports do you have?
But they have
Even
the-
in Houston alone.
I mean, I was in Texas. I was
Yes.
I was in Dallas in in January. You have the Dallas Fort Worth Airport, which is about the second, third biggest airport in America. Then you have other airports around.
Yes, you
But
have
they
Houston, Hobby. You
but
have
you
Intercontinental.
You have the economic activity to carry it.
Yeah.
I just came in from DC. There was Dulles. There was Ronald Reagan. There was Baltimore.
We are
Maryland.
thinking for the future. But let me tell
No,
you.
but
Let me tell you something.
You don't have the funds.
No,
You
let me tell you.
you're
The
pressed for
airport-
funds.
the
You still have to borrow money. Why you building it?
The airport is not mine. It's a federal government project.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's
so
funding the federal government?
federal government. Okay. So let me explain how it happened.
Yeah.
So the federal government came up to say it wanted to build a few airports, I think 4 or 5. And Abia was one of them. Okay? And it was not going to be an airport, it was an airstrip that they planned. So and I went and met the president. And I said, Mr. President, the difference between an airport and an airstrip is the wrong way. So if you are going to do an airstrip in Abia, can I partner with you and make it a full-fledged airport? And he said, oh, there's no problem with that. I should go and meet the Honorable Minister for Aviation, Festus Keyamo. And I went and met him, and he didn't have a problem with that. So, and we sat down. You bring your own money. We bring our counterpart for them.
How much are you putting into this?
I'm not sure yet. But our contribution is now the wrong way.
How much is the federal government putting into this?
Not sure yet, too. Work is still going on.
So it's still in the ideation stage of the project?
No, we have flagged off, but then a lot of work is still going on.
But the money you will put into it, where is it going to come from? You have to borrow. Because the state does not have this, the
you just sit down.
I know you are in the private sector.
Yeah, not just in the private sector.
Yeah, you know how to raise capital.
You are going into my territory. Just leave that area for me. It's my trade secret, money.
I know.
Yeah.
You raise money.
Yeah, so
safe to call you Ezego in banking. The king of raising money in banking.
Yeah.
But it's going to put back a deadline on the states.
Don't worry about
and
that.
And that's what we're scared of, because most states
are
not
Rufai, let me tell you something. I just saw the numbers from DMO that in 2023, they said we inherited a debt profile of 138 billion. But that's at the end of last year that we reduced it to 66 billion. We've not borrowed one time.
So how did you clear it? How did you not borrow?
Trade secrets.
Tell us about it.
No, you have to consult me and pay me some money for me to tell you.
Should I turn off the camera?
No, you pay me first. Okay, so... But the thing about money, let me tell you.
The opposition keeps saying, you are borrowing. That it's a...
And then they come with the facts, man. Borrowing. Who did I borrow from them? If I borrowed from a bank, it will be clear. DMO will tell you.
But I will. Okay, so let me also the figures on the airport.
Let me also go back.
Yes.
And let you know that by the time we looked at the books and the numbers, we found that it was actually 192 billion that my predecessor handed over to me as debt.
How much did it leave for you in the coffers? How much did it leave as money on ground for you to run?
So if you have money in the coffers, you wouldn't be owing. So we had netted. If you net off what is left in the coffers, we had a debt profile of 192 billion.
So he left nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
He left nothing in the coffers?
Nothing. So when you say, you need to understand, I can leave 100 naira in one account, and I'm owing 100 naira in another account. No, listen, that's how it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when you say how much did he leave, you are owing money and you are leaving money. Does it make sense?
It doesn't.
Okay, so what you do is you take the total assets and remove your liabilities, and you know what the net is. And I'm saying the net he left for us was 192 billion. So if you...
more than what the DMO quoted?
Yes, because DMO didn't include pension arrears, which we cleared off. They didn't include salary arrears, which we also paid. We didn't include all the parastatals that were being owed, including Oboneano Polytechnic and then the medical personnel. So those we have taken care of. And today, I can tell you the state is running very, very well. Don't bother yourself about where I'm going to find the money, because that's my own area. So
you talked about pension arrears. Part of the talking point the opposition said, they said you lied that you cleared the pension arrears. And they said you also repeated that lie by 2023, that you've not cleared any pension arrears. They said they employed some people into the state service before you came in, that you rooted most of them out, you pulled them out, and you said no, that these employments were not done properly. I mean, what do you have to say about all of these things?
Well, I have responded to them, but if you need me to respond, I will respond again. First of all, pension arrears, some of them we're talking of numbers of 45 to 56 months. People were not paid. So we sat down with the pensioners and we said, okay, you are being owed this much. We need to take them out. So the leadership of pensioners sat down with us for a very long period of time, and we agreed. And by Easter last year, we paid a total of about 10 billion to pensioners to clear all the arrears. So it was like you are going to pay in full and final settlement. Somebody's been owing you for 56 months. No chance that you may get it. But I said, I didn't need it. I need this money in your hands. So if you were here, or if you watched, you found that the pensioners organized a Thanksgiving service. A lot of them were very happy.
But what about the people that make the argument, there's unemployment in the land and all of that? And secondly, the case of the multi-purpose specialist hospital that they said, no, was abandoned. We didn't stay part of their talking point. And afterwards, I want us to shift and now talk some national politics, You want to respond to those arguments that say,
Which one is national politics?
No, we have to talk national politics. There's no how you come here.
I don't talk politics.
You don't talk
I'm
politics?
not a politician.
Okay, you're not a politician, it's fine. But you know a certain individual called Abure.
Oh, yes, I know him. Is he part of your national politics?
Oh, yes, national politics, National Labour Party politics.
Okay.
There's a contestation,
Okay, so
and they're mentioning your name. They
Oh,
said
really?
you are the dramatis personae.
Do I want to be governor and chairman at the same time?
If you hear the likes of Arabami and everything, they said, no, you are the ones, you and your very good friend Peter Obi are the ones trying to take over the reins of the party. And the Abure faction said, you're not having it from you. And they don't want to have it from you. But let's talk about, the specialist hospital scenario first. And afterwards, the argument people make as regards, these people are poor, they finally got a job in government, and you said no. So can you tamper justice with mercy, and things like that?
No, that's why I said they should apply whenever the embargo is lifted. Is it not fair?
Okay.
Yeah, so if you were in my shoes, somebody sets a landmine for you, you want to go and fall into it.
Okay.
You have a huge, you are paying some 65,000 people. That's the population of civil servants in Abia. 65,000. And then somebody maybe puts a few more thousand for you. It wasn't in good faith. But it's gone. So at the appropriate time, and I'm sure that those of them who are forward-looking would have found something else to do. And of course, the interesting thing we are doing here is to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Our people are very entrepreneurial. Okay, so quite unlike some of us who want to be given money. Majority of our people don't want to be given money. They want you to create the enabling environment for their businesses to thrive. And once you fix the roads, you clean the environment, you provide good schools for their children to go to, you have good hospitals they can go to. Don't care about government.
Specialist hospital.
Specialist hospital. Now, the specialist hospital was not abandoned. It's actually working. What we did was to convert it to a general hospital because it's in Aba. You have the Abia State University Teaching Hospital, which in itself functions as a specialist hospital, also in Aba. So you don't need to set up another specialist hospital in Aba. So what happened before my time is that the Abia State University Teaching Hospital lost accreditation in 2021. And the reason for that was that my predecessors abandoned the university. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria came back in 2022 and reaffirmed the loss of accreditation. So when we came up in 2023, I gave my people 6 months to fix that teaching hospital, get the necessary personnel, and ensure that the accreditation was restored. To the glory of God, in December 2023, in fact, it was dramatic when the registrar of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria came here. He said by the time he got to the teaching hospital, he was almost missing his way. And he thought the driver was taking him somewhere else. And so the accreditation was restored in 2023. So everything that you require in the teaching hospital is there right now. So we felt that instead of maintaining, because that hospital was Aba General Hospital that was converted to the specialist hospital. We thought it was not necessary. With the Abia State University Teaching Hospital, just a few poles from it. So it wasn't a good decision in our judgment. So the general hospital is working very, very well, just like the other 21 general hospitals. But a lot of them are in different states of dilapidation. So we have taken about 7 of them in the first instance, fixing them, retrofitting them. By the time we are done with that, we will take another 7 and then the final 7. Having said that, we also do have a general hospital in Amachara, Omuahia, that we actually want to function with the diagnostic center as a specialist hospital. And of course, there is one in Omonato, in Bende. What's the idea? The idea is to have specialist hospitals in every senatorial zone of the state. So you have the one in Amachara covering the central, you have the one in Bende covering the north, and of course you have the Abia State University Teaching Hospital in Aba covering the Aba senatorial zone, the Abia South senatorial zone. So that's what we have done with that. So it's not any abandonment of any sort.
Okay.
Now,
that's
the
not
other...
politics. Abure. What are you doing to that man?
Okay, so I'm not doing anything to Abure. I have said it time and time. Abure worked very well with me. And as far as I'm concerned, he's still my friend. But I tell friends the truth. So I don't have any problem with Abure. Supreme Court has said, you are no longer chairman. And the man is saying he is still the chairman.
But
something must be wrong.
So, but this conundrum, a lot of people have said, can lead to the destruction of your party. Some people argue that your party is gone. With all of this, are you planning on decamping at some point? Because Delta just left. Other governors are leaving. Governor Fubara, suspended Governor Fubara, went to have a meeting with President Tinubu. And it looks like your party is on shaky ground. And like, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, former governor of Delta, did say today, said they want to be close to the center. Your state is one leg in the center. You know, the speaker, the deputy speaker of the House of Reps happens to be from your state. So that's a great privilege. And he too has been saying that we are going to, consolidate on the state and push through. So is it not just time for you to align with the APC, or are you going to do it anytime soon?
Okay, so I take your advice.
So you are decamping?
I take your advice.
Because it's exclusive that Governor Otti is making the moves to the APC.
Governor Otti is not decamping. And my party is not on shaky ground.
Why?
Well, I've told you this.
The arguments of other politicians.
So listen.
They say lone man. You want to be close to the center.
Don't worry. I'm being close to the center. I'm even closer to the center than some of them.
But you're not in APC. You
can't
be as closer than
everybody must not be in APC. This is democracy. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu held on to his AD, AC, ACN, before becoming APC.
So guys, this is what Governor Alex Otti has got to tell Nigerians about his performance in Abia State, all the money that is meant for Abians, that the previous administration stuck for themselves. They refused to pay pensioners, they refused to pay workers, they piled up so much debt for him. And when he came in, he saw that one of the things he would do is to make the people of Abia happy. He started paying their arrears, the pensioners, the workers. I mean, billions of naira that people were being owed. You can imagine somebody being owed for like 30-something years, 40-something years, you've not been paid. I mean, months, sorry. 20-something years, 40-something, sorry, for 30-something months, 40-something months, somebody is being owed without being paid. You can imagine how that could affect people's lives. These are people that are at the stage of, taking care of their children at university levels and all that. And some of them are being denied their salaries. You know how that can be so traumatizing and really bad. Anyway, you've heard what Governor Alex Otti has got to say. He has told Nigerians and the people of Abia that they should expect more. And you can see the economic intelligence of this man. He goes through his list and check what is good for the people of Abia, what can bring development. What he's even telling the people, if you can't pay tax so that you expect more dividend, we'll be able to clear some of these debts. We'll be able to build more projects. We'll be able to do more. He told the people, pay your taxes. If you can't pay tax, come, we will give you job. So Governor Alex Otti is really simplifying leadership for the Nigerian leaders, if at all they are willing to learn. This is all what leadership is all about. Like in the Western world, people pay taxes. But people pay it willingly, happily, because they can see the money being used. Good roads, 24 hours electricity, jobs, well-paid jobs, you know. People have security. You are not worried. Even if you are living in a glassy house, nobody's coming to break it and get into you. I mean, people are living a very comfortable life. It's only in Nigeria where people are asked to endure hardship while our leaders cruise in big life and all that. Anyway, guys, you have heard Governor Alex Otti break it down for Channels Television, you know, with Rufai featuring here as the interviewer. I'm just happy that Rufai was very strategic to ask him some of the questions that has to do with the accusations coming from oppositions. Because guess what? The people of Abati is saying, even if Alex Otti want to come back third term, people are even wishing that, you know, the system should change. I mean, the law should change so that people can always be in office. If people like Alex Otti are allowed to be there for like 10 years, hey, you can imagine the level of transformation that will happen in Abia State. It's so sad that it's just a second term. For somebody that is performing this well and he has a planned thoughts for the people of Abia. I think people like this are rare, and the Abians cannot wait to maximize this opportunity of having Alex Otti as their leader. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.